This is a video from Math 386, and it's on the derivative rules. And with that, we're going to start with 15. Suppose I want to differentiate f of x raised to the fourth power. So here's the deal. What's inside? The inside is going to be f of x. That's the innermost function. What's the outside? The outside is x raised to the fourth. Now, this is the derivative of the outside, but we're going to evaluate it at the inside, right? And we're going to take that answer and multiply by the derivative of the inside function. So think about it like peeling an onion. 16. So what is the derivative of sine of x raised to the fourth power? What's inside? Now we're dealing with a specific function. The inside function is sine of x. The outside function is x raised to the fourth power. But we're going to take the derivative of the outside. And we're going to multiply by the derivative of the inside function. Okay? Now, in red, I'm going to put what f of x is. That's sine of x. And then the derivative of sine of x is cosine x. So here's sine of x. This guy here is cosine of x. Okay? That's 16. Let's take a look at 17. Suppose I want the derivative of e raised to the f of x. What's inside? Same game, right? The inside function is f of x. What's outside? The outside function is e to the x. So we're going to take the derivative of the outside. We're going to evaluate it at the inside, okay? And we're going to take that answer and multiply by the derivative of that inside function. The derivative of the inside function just happens to be f prime of x. Okay. Now, let's take a look at 18, okay? Now, on 18, we have the derivative of e to the sine of x. What's inside? I'm going to drill down this idea in a big way. The inside function is sine of x. The outside function, well, that's just e to the x. So when I want the derivative, it's the derivative of the outside. The derivative of the outside is e to the x. But I'm going to evaluate it at the inside function. And I'm going to take that answer, and then I'm going to multiply by the derivative of the inside function. The derivative of the inside function just happens to be cosine x. So notice that the derivative of sine of x is cosine x. That's it. That's number 18. Let's take a look at 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So let's take a look at 19. Suppose I want the derivative of sine of f of x. What's inside? The inside function is f of x. What's outside? The outside function is just sine of x. So it's the derivative of the outside, but we're going to evaluate it at the inside. And I'm going to take that answer, and then I'm going to multiply by the derivative of the inside function. Just like this. Let's take a look at 20. So do we see a pattern here? Suppose I want the derivative of sine of e to the x. What's inside? The inside function is e to the x. What's outside? The outside function is sine of x. Now, it's going to be the derivative of the outside, but we're going to evaluate it at the inside. So it's cosine of the inside function, which is e to the x. But I'm going to multiply that by the derivative of that inside function. Okay? Just understand that the derivative of the inside, the derivative of e to the x, happens to be e to the x. Okay? That's 20. Let's take a look at 21. Suppose I want the derivative of cosine of f of x. What's inside? Same game. The inside function is f of x. What's outside? The outside function happens to be cosine x. But it's the derivative of the outside, but we're going to evaluate it at the inside. We're going to take that answer and then multiply by the derivative of that inside function. Okay? And that right there is 21. So let's take a look at 22. Suppose we want the derivative of cosine of arctangent of x. What's inside? The inside function is arctangent of x. That's the argument of the cosine. The outside function just happens to be cosine x. So it's the derivative of the outside, but we're going to evaluate it at the inside. I'll put that in red. We're going to take that answer and multiply by the derivative of that inside function, which just happens to be 1 over 1 plus x squared. So this is negative sine of arctangent of x divided by 1 plus x squared. That's 22. Let's take a look at 23, I believe. But I'm going to stop here on this video. This is a video for Math 386, and we did problems 15 through 22. So, okay, thank you.